when we came to Mangalore 8 years ago, having lived in all different countries and working, by the way, we are grandparents of 7 grandchildren and have the pride and the honor of having them come visit us twice a year. But that was not enough. I used to think that I really miss my children. They've always been abroad, and we two old people settled in this home here. What could I do when I went to Mangalore? Get up late, go for a walk, go to the market, buy some fish, come home, eat fish curry, and in the evening have a long sleep in the afternoon, have a cup of tea, and again go to church, maybe pay a visit to someone, and come home. That would be the most boring retired life that I would dream of. But within no time, action came into our lives, and we decided that we have to do something rather than just sit and dream about Mangalore. It was our give back time. Though I am not from Mangalore, but I'm basically Mangalorean. My heart and home was now here, and Mangalore has given us so much, so it's our turn to give back to Mangalore. So we decided to start this personality development program, seeing that most students, young ones and ones in college, need that little communication, that self-esteem, how to answer a phone call, how to answer an interview, how to prepare a word program, just talking, sharing, and being able to say, I am something. I'm not just nothing. I'm someone, and I can give so much, and I have so much to give. So we started this program in the Catholic Association of South Canada, and I wanted to feel more fortified in what I did. So I'm joining Sunny Therapin's course at my age. I guess he's never had a student as young as I am. And I'm going to do my HR course in human resources in May, simply because I want to learn more. I think an age is not it's just a number, and it's time for me to get more qualified about what I'm doing. Never had an opportunity all this time. From there I move on, and we have both decided that there's so much more for us to learn. What do you say, Derek?
No, absolutely. One of the very, I would say, impactful quote I got was from Dr. Krishna Kumar, who was the former director of NCERT. And he made this statement more than 10 years ago when he was the director of NCERT. He said, the best of institutions in India are mediocre by international standards. And therefore, he appealed to the universities and colleges and schools to look at it that way, and then only you will think of what is needed to meet international standards of education. The same thing was repeated by Dr. C.N.N. Rao, who was the scientific advisor to Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. He said the same thing. None of the Indian universities are in the first 200 globally, and we have to find why it is so. There is apparently something wrong in the way we run our education system. And I think this is what it is. We have to move away from this preoccupation with examination and develop student friendly evaluation and appraisal systems that do not give stress to the students. Today we are in a situation in our country where, according to some statistics, 25% of the students actually require medication because of the stress in schools and maybe at home. And we have something like 6,000 student related suicides in our country. We don't realize this because 6,000 in a country like India, it's not. But 6,000 is maybe a tip of the iceberg. Behind those 6,000 there may be 60,000 who are under stress. They might not commit suicide, but their life is in some way in turmoil. We require much better in-service training for teachers. And I always tell this to any institution I go, that the principal and management people one teacher should visit Singapore, because in Singapore, every teacher, irrespective of the number of years of experience, has to undertake minimum 100 hours of in-service training to improve their teaching skill, to improve their teaching method, because knowledge is changing every day, every minute. They have to keep in touch. They have to keep themselves abreast with what is happening. And this is not happening in our country. The teachers are not equipped to improve their skills or teaching method. They get their salaries irrespective of how they perform, and performance itself is judged by the results in the board exam or university examination. And I think there is so much to do. I mean, okay, education is not the only sector that requires reforms. I'm a doctor, I belong to the medical profession, and I think our health system policies are totally, I would say, out of sync with the realities and needs of our country. We are operating a health policy based on illness, doctors, and hospitals rather than on wellness, prevention, and public health approach. And so you just imagine, how are you going to sustain more and more medical colleges and more hospitals? You can sustain them only if you sustain illness.